Imagine that, a close game.
You guys have kind of, I don't want to say learn how to win close games. You're losing a lot early, and now you seem to be getting a leg up in these close games.
Yeah, no, I mean, we know how to win games. I think we're getting a lot of experience at it. You know, there's been a ton of close games here, which is why everything matters. You know, every 90 feet matters. Every small mistake matters. Every taking advantage of their mistakes matter. And you know, it's interesting to watch our team start to grow confidence again in similar fashion to how it should be. And I like the energy and the vibe and the smiles that are happening when we're playing pretty good baseball.
You got the save, but I guess Harris was just a little bit off today.
I don't know if he was off. I mean, they had a swinging bunt or infield hit and a couple of base hits, a couple of singles, and then Trout had the line drive. So he's allowed to give up a run. You know, he's got a little long leash here on how his season's gone. And when you get off to that type of start that he's gotten off to, you know, you make a pitch and give up a hit. Sometimes, you know, it feels like the world's coming to an end. You know, and instead it's just competing against the top of their order, who are pretty good hitters, and they put together some pretty good at bats. But you know, it's why Correa running the ball out in the eighth inning and beating the double play ball matters. Like every 90 feet matters, and you never know when that's going to come to your advantage. If we'd close it out 3 up, 3 down, nobody would really talk about Carlos Correa running the ball out, and instead it becomes a pivotal play based on how we tacked on a run and they couldn't catch us.
What about Colby getting the runner at second?
Yeah, Colby, you know, that inning started with the dilemma of whether to, you know, it's putting Jake Marisnik in no matter what. It's put him in left or put him in right. And Colby's got a ton of experience in left field in this ballpark, which is not easy to play. And again, we took advantage of a little bit of a big turn, you know, by Escobar, and Altuve's there to make the tag and give the umpire credit. He got it right, and he got it right on the field. He got it right through replay. So turned out to be a big play. I did not like seeing you know, Trout come up with a runner on first, let alone a guy on first and second.
How's Correa's foot?
I think it's pretty good. You know, I think it's he's beating it up a little bit. It's the same foot that he sprained in Texas. You know, so it'll be another round of treatment for him. But you know, it was a little bit scary to watch him leg out the double because it didn't look very good. But then running the ball out in the eighth inning, he obviously looked better.
You told us the other day that you didn't think, you know, 500 is a gigantic milestone, but here you are, one game over, and here's the stretch that you're on now. Some thoughts about that?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's important for us to play good every day. You know, I just don't subscribe to the theory of it June 22nd there being any sort of declaration of like we're back or we're not. We've got to play a tough team this weekend in Kansas City. We'll go out to Anaheim. Those guys are going to be even more motivated to get us. So, you know, I'm proud of our group. I love the way we're playing. I've liked our group since day one. We just got a long schedule ahead of us to continue this out. I'm very proud. I like the fact that we've dug ourselves out of an enormous hole that we, you know, somewhat created for ourselves. So if we continue to play good baseball, I believe in this team, and I think we'll continue to tack on these wins.
Seems like Marwin has a knack for coming up with big hits when you really need them. Can you talk about what he did?
So Marwin had about 900 foot of fly ball to center field, you know, and I'm not trying to recreate a controversy of Tal's Hill. That was an advantage for us that their center fielder running up it. But it was good to have him have those at bats. You know, he just missed a ball in the first, and then he hit the ball pretty good with the triple. So. He's playing really well, you know, and I think the everyday at bats have helped. He's kept take care of his body. I don't know if he's played this much in a 2-week span in his entire career, but he's played good defense. He's put up good at bats. You know, I think hitting in front of Altuve has been fun for him, and you know, he's factoring in most nights.
Shoemaker had been so good in the course of the game. What was key in your mind to those at bats?
Man, he was really tough on us. You know, it was tough to get base runners early. You know, he walked a guy, I guess, and he hit George to lead the game off, but. He didn't really give in for any. His ball's moving all over the place. He's got the split. He pitches backwards. He has a split that he uses as a fastball, and then he finishes sometimes with a tailing fastball. But luckily, he hung a breaking ball to Altuve for the home run. That seemed to spark us a little bit. Our bats got better the third time through, which it normally does against any starting pitcher. But we didn't have an answer for him early. He was going through our order with relative ease, and he's been doing that for about a month now, it sounds like.
How big was it for Lance, despite being in and out of trouble, to essentially limit all that damage?
Yeah, no, I mean, Lance got better as the game went, and it's becoming a common quote from me after his games, because he gets into the game, and then by the time you get, just when you think he's wobbling, here comes the 96, here comes 97. I think he sat at 95 his last inning. He doesn't love coming out of the game because I think he feels better as he gets towards, the 80 to 100 pitch count. But he's got the strikeout pitch, and that strikeout pitch with his breaking ball, he had some finished fastballs today that rescue him from trouble. And, obviously it's some trouble he creates for himself. They put some good at-bats and got some base hits together. But, having that type of weapon as a breaking ball to strand guys at third base or strand guys in scoring position is a huge asset for him.
Altuve is now the active major league leader in consecutive games played at 164. What does that say about him?
Yeah, he takes care of his body. That when I first got this job, one of the first things he said is he wants to play every day. He doesn't need days off. And then I talked him into a couple last season. I'll talk him into a couple more later this season. He loves to play. It's baseball and sleep, and his family. But he's a guy that I know is going to be prepared. And the amazing part of him is he doesn't wear down. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't, his strength is really good. He knows what it takes to get the most out of his body. And he shows up to the ballpark. He doesn't love day games. But I told him before the game, he needs to start liking the DH. He's giving everybody a hard time who's going to DH. And I said, Jose, you got to start liking the DH. And he's like, nah, but I don't like day games either. But today I'm going to homer. And he did. So it's 2 days in a row he's told me. I hope he tells me that on Friday, too.
Do you like how Luke Gregerson has kind of taken over the eighth inning role?
Yeah, Luke's a consummate pro. He's really good, and he wasn't bad when he lost his designation as the closer. He had a rough little patch, but his quality pitches were still really good. So he hasn't missed a beat. He's a guy that will take the ball whenever I call. When the phone rings down there, I don't care if it's the 6th or the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, and I said Gregerson's in the game, he's going to take the ball and do his best. I mean, his breaking ball's been really good. He had a few days off in between, the last couple series, but he's very reliable with how he makes pitches, and right-handed hitters have a very, very hard time with his slider, and you can see him have all the confidence in the world in any count.
Talk about the little things. In April, were those some of the things you guys really weren't doing, and did you have to talk to the guys?
Yeah, it's a little bit. We got a little careless, and we're still a touch careless on the bases, and we, obviously we kicked the ball around a little bit in April. We're not doing that now. We're playing pretty good defense. Our starting pitching has stabilized over the course of the last couple months, and you factor all that together, and we're playing winning baseball, and you have to do all those things at this level to beat any team, regardless of record, regardless of league. And early on, I think we were doing just enough to lose by a little. I think that's the phrase that I always use. And I talk to the guys all the time. Our coaches talk to the guys. We stay positive. Talent wins out over time. You've got to get some repetition in to do the right things. But as we've gotten better incrementally in just about every category within the game, so is our results.
Did you guys change Will Harris a year ago?
Did we change him? Well, I think what our guys saw when we acquired Will was, a really good fastball that cuts and a really good breaking ball. I don't want to give out too many trade secrets here, but we're very much into pitch usage. When you factor in pitches and how often you expose them to the same hitter, he pitches up very well, and we encourage that rather than the sort of traditional mindset of pitch down. And we utilize his elevated fastball and the curveball off of that. Is that changing him? Not really. It's more encouraging him to use his weapons the way they're supposed to be used.
But the difference is stunning in contact and results.
Yeah, well, he's a developing big leaguer. He wasn't a 7 or 8 year veteran when we got him. I mean, he was still trying to find his way and navigate his way into the league. So you'd have to ask him on what changes he's made, but he has made progress. His velocity's up a little bit. His confidence in landing his breaking ball for a strike is up a little bit. I think he's more comfortable pitching arm side. He's been this cutter guy out over the plate a little bit, early in his career. Now he's, you watch the last Trout at bat, he was pounding him in till the very end. So, all that, I think he's a growing and learning and evolving big leaguer.
Must Must be cool for you as his manager to see his confidence grow.
Oh, it's outstanding. You know, last year when I put him in such terrible positions all the time and asked him to rescue us, and he did. And as he got confidence, and players know, there's not a player in there that doesn't know that he's a guy that will do anything for this team. So I've loved watching him evolve and gain confidence and gain more prominent roles. And, you know, I thought last year I was hoping he would accompany, you know, me and Dallas and Jose to the All-Star game. And there's not a doubt in my mind that man should be in San Diego when July hits.
You're going to mention that to the...
Yeah, I'll tell him every time I see Ned. This 3 days in a row, I'm going to shake his hand and say, Will Harris should go with you to San Diego.
Hey, Jay, you've been in so many positions in front office as well. You have a unique take on it, I would think. Like today, they brought in Forrest Whitley, the first-round pick, and it's kind of what makes baseball unique. I mean, this is a guy, your first-round pick, and you're like, hi, nice to meet you. See you in a few years.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hope he comes quick. You know, I mean, it's nice for these kids to come in and get a taste of what's at the end of the journey. And as I told him, you know, the real work begins now. He's going to walk into a field, or he's going to go to instructional league or spring training, and there's going to be 200 kids that are fighting for their playing time and their spot. So I love the fact that we bring these guys through here to give them, you know, a little bit of a carrot out there to show them what's possible if they go do their work and continue to have success and build off of that. There's nothing. There's nothing better, I guess, than the day you sign than when the day you get to the big leagues. And then after you get to the big leagues, the next step is winning in the big leagues. And that's something every kid dreams of. And you know, for kids like Forrest and others that have been through here, they get a chance to see the third deck, to see Jose Altuve, to see Dallas Keuchel, to see us do our work, and ultimately have all the motivation in the world. If they need any more motivation, there's nothing more motivating than that. What's that?
What is the impression you try to make of
I just try to tell them that, you know, how tough it is and how small margin for error it is. You know, getting to the big leagues is hard. Staying in the big leagues is harder. They have an opportunity, and you know, I certainly encourage them not to waste it.